Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we are back doing another foundation first impressions. Now, the foundation that I'm going to be doing today, it's already been out for a while. You know, it's not really anything new. You guys have probably seen 1,000,001 first impressions on this foundation, but me personally, I have never tried it. It's also been a while since I've done a foundation first impression, so I just figured what the hell, I might as well film it so you guys can kind of see if I like it. This foundation has pretty good reviews, but I want to see personally how it works for me because as you can see, I have very acne prone skin, I have very oily skin, so let's just see how this works. So the foundation I'm going to be trying today is the Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage 24-Hour Wear Foundation. Like I said, you guys have probably heard about this foundation from many different YouTubers. So I just looked this foundation up on the Maybelline website. They do have a very good shade range. It looks like they have a lot of dark tones. They have a lot of pink tones, yellow tones, olive tones. So, I mean, I think the shade range is pretty good for a drugstore foundation. It is $11.99 on their website. And this is high impact coverage. This is the winner of Allure's 2018 Best of Beauty Award. It's a matte foundation and it's supposed to deliver 24-hour wear with concentrated coverage and a flawless finish. So we'll definitely have to see how that works. It does have a review of 4 out of 5 stars, so that is pretty good. I do want to see what some of the negative reviews have to say because I always think those are very interesting just to see what people, you know, didn't like about it. There is 498 5-star reviews and there is 51 1-star reviews. Someone said that it separated on their oily skin. Someone else said that this product sucks, that it oxidizes, that it stains and it clogs pores. That's not good. Someone said that it's very thick and cakey and that the shade oxidizes. So I think the one thing that I'm seeing on here that I'm a little worried about is that it oxidizes because there's nothing worse than putting on a foundation that matches your skin tone and 3 hours later it turns like completely bright orange. Like, I hate that. We're just gonna have to kind of try it out. But I mean, what a lot of people are saying that it's like cakey and thick, I don't think they're really taking into consideration that this is a full coverage foundation. Like, of course it's going to be, like, and probably people were probably using too much of it because when you do have, like, a full coverage foundation like this, you really don't need a lot. I am going to be using a wet beauty sponge to apply it to my face. That way, if I do, on accident, apply too much product, the Beauty Blender will kind of help to suck that up. So this is what the packaging looks like. Sorry if you can hear Avril barking in the background. There's a UPS guy outside and she is losing her mind. What the packaging looks like, it's just in a very long glass bottle. It has a very nice classy white top. One thing I do like about it is it is a pump top. I love foundations that have a pump. More and more drugstore foundations are really kind of stepping it up with their packaging and the quality of their formula and also putting pumps in all of their foundations, which I really like. So yeah, there's just a rundown on the packaging. The shade I got is 118, which is light beige. Which I think is going to match okay. Like, if I put it on my neck, it's okay, but if the reviews are correct and it does say that it oxidizes, I'm a little worried about that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a few pumps of this on my face, not do anything too crazy, blend it out, see how the first layer looks, maybe apply a second layer, but this is really going to put this to the test today because as you can see, I am having, you know, quite the breakouts on my skin lately. I don't know what the heck is going on, but if this is as full coverage as everyone says it is, then this should have no issue covering up all of this shit. So I did zoom you guys in a little bit closer. I know this is scary, but I'm just going to be using my mirror that is right here in front of me, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start taking a few little pumps like this, nothing too crazy. So I'm just going to start out with that amount, and the color looks pretty good. I did buy this at the store, so I was able to see the colors in person, and that's just the one I thought would, you know, work best. So right off the bat, the consistency, as you can see, this is going to be very full coverage because if it were a lighter coverage, you would notice that it would start kind of draining down my face, where it's kind of just staying where I put it. So this is going to be interesting. So I'm just going to take my damp beauty blender and I'm just going to start bouncing that into the skin. Oh, it has a very interesting smell. Like, it doesn't smell bad, but it doesn't smell great, I guess. Another first impressions is it's covering up everything pretty well, and I think I did a really good job picking the color. I mean, I don't know how well you guys are seeing this on camera, but I think it looks pretty damn good. Over the chin, kind of really cover up those blemishes. So, okay, so far, I'm really liking the coverage of this. It is definitely full coverage. I honestly don't know if I'm gonna need a second pump or not, but usually when I do review a foundation like this, I do like to do 2 pumps, even though I wouldn't traditionally do that with like an everyday wear just because it's not needed. But for like review purposes, I kind of like to do 2 pumps just because I like to see how buildable it is, and I like to see, you know, how it looks if you were to like, you know, use this for the first time and do 2 pumps. I just like to see that kind of stuff. And yes, a lot of people always comment on how I always have eyeliner underneath my eyes. And yes, you guys, I wear eyeliner every single day. It is like my ride or die bitch. So, and every time after, like when I get in the shower, I do rinse my makeup off, but I always have like leftover eyeliner underneath my eyes. I don't know why. It's just a thing. So I've come to accept it. You guys probably should too at this point. I mean, I've been doing YouTube for how long? Like, I'm always going to have eyeliner underneath my eyes, okay? Okay, so here is what the first layer looks like all blended out. It is definitely full coverage. I don't know how well you guys are seeing this on camera. One thing I do notice is it is a little patchy right here. That's another thing. I do not have any primer on. The only thing that I had on was moisturizer that I put on this morning after I washed my face. I don't know why it's like it's this one area on my face that just doesn't want to seem to like blend out. It just wants to go very patchy. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it like this for now. As the foundation kind of sinks into my skin and my skin starts to produce more oil throughout the day, we're going to have to see how this little separation issue is going to go, because I can kind of already tell where we're going to have an issue right here in this area. I don't know if you guys can see it on camera, but I definitely can. I definitely, right off the bat, would say that this is probably not a foundation for matured skin. Now, if you're someone who's maybe 16 or under the age of 25, this might work for you. Or if you're over the age of 25 and you have just beautiful, flawless Jaclyn Hill skin, then I think this would look really, really good on you. But if you're someone like me who does have oily skin, who does have acne-prone skin, who does have textured skin, fine lines, wrinkles, all that, definitely not the foundation for you. Also, if you're someone who's a little bit on the drier side, I would not use this at all. Yeah, so this is what the foundation looks like. I can see it oxidizing the more I'm letting it sit. So I'm just going to quickly put on some concealer to kind of lighten my face a little bit to kind of balance it out. Then we're going to do powder, bronzer, blush, brows, all that stuff. And then, you know, how this goes. As per usual, I will come back throughout the day and do little check-ins, all that good stuff. But I don't know. Usually I can tell right away, like when I apply a foundation, if I'm going to like it or not. But for some reason, this one, I'm just kind of like, girl, I don't know about you yet. I don't know. We're going to have to go on a dinner date or something. Okay, so as per usual, the concealer that I'm going to use is the CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Concealer. I love this stuff. I'm using this until I can try Jeffree Star's new concealer. I am really, really excited about that. So yes, I'm just going to go in with the pointy side of my Beauty Blender and just give very light taps. I don't know how this concealer is going to mix with the foundation, so we're just going to kind of have to see how this goes, but this is just going to help brighten my under eyes and kind of balance out the color of the foundation a little bit, because I feel like at the end of the day, I'm going to be looking a little yellow-orange, if you know what I'm saying. So I'm going to try to avoid that as much as possible, but, you know, when you do foundation reviews like this, it's just a risk you're going to have to take. I'm just going to go in with some powder really quick to set all of this. And for that, I'm just using the Maybelline Fit Me Pressed Powder, and this is in the shade 120 Classic Ivory. So again, this should kind of help even out the color of everything. And I'm just kind of taking like a dense powder brush, and I'm just going to press this into the skin. Now, with a matte foundation, you do not need a lot of pressed powder just because it can make you look a little bit cakey. But since I am more on the oily side, I am going to put a little more on than the average person, and I'm going to go in with setting spray later to kind of suck up some of the excess powder. But for now, we're just gonna load that shit on. Next for bronzer, I'm just gonna go in with the Wet n Wild Color Icon bronzer. Just looks like this. It's just a really nice bronzy shade, and this is called Ticket to Brazil. I love Wet n Wild. They are really killing it in the makeup game lately. Cruelty-free, inexpensive, drugstore. Fuck yeah, hit them up. They're awesome. So I've never been a big fan of like contouring, so I'm just gonna take some of this and just put it up in my temples and on my cheeks just to kind of like bronze myself up a little bit. Okay, so there's my face. As you can see, it just has a little bit of a bronze to it, a little bit of color, makes me look a little bit more healthy. And then for blush today, I'm feeling something a little bit dark. So I'm just gonna take this Sephora Baked Blush that I've had for years, but I love it. It's called Tea Rose Tickle. And I'm just gonna take a little bit on my brush and just kind of like do the apples of my cheeks. Now this stuff is very pigmented and it kind of also has like a little bit of a sheen to it. Okay, and then to quickly fill in my brows, I'm going to be using the CoverGirl Ultra Fine Brow Pencil, and this is in 705 Rich Brown. I love these eyebrow pencils. I kind of wish they made one in just black because my hair is black, but Rich Brown does the trick and it doesn't look too bad. Like, it looks pretty good. So I'm just going to kind of brush these babies out a little bit and just kind of fill them in. Brows are on. The only thing I'm going to do is apply some highlighter, but I want to show you guys an up-close view of my face before I apply any highlighter or any setting spray or anything like that. So I'm going to zoom you in a little bit more just so you can kind of see what I'm talking about with like the separation here on my face and just like other little things that I noticed. Okay, so now we're like really up close and personal. So if you look kind of right here in this area of my face, you can kind of see where it's like gathering and kind of starting to like crack and separate. Another thing is like my expression lines up on my forehead. I can definitely tell throughout the day that's probably going to sink in quite a bit, just more as the day goes on. And it is kind of gathering in between my eyebrows a little bit. But other than that, I mean, the coverage looks good. Also, like right here around my mouth, I feel like we're going to have an issue, and maybe like around my nose. So you guys will have to let me know what you think of it so far, but I don't know. I mean, it's okay. It definitely isn't life-changing so far, but I am going to apply some highlighter. I'm going to apply some setting spray to kind of suck up the excess, and then we'll see how it looks throughout the day, but I don't know, guys. I'm a little nervous. My skin looks pretty good from afar. I'm kind of like a Picasso painting. Like from far away, you're like, okay, like her skin looks pretty snatched. And then as we get up close, it's kind of like, fuck, holy shit. It is currently 11:23 in the morning. I'm going to film a couple more videos. I'm going to run some errands, and I will just do checkups all throughout the day. And then at the end of this video, I will, of course, give you guys my final thoughts. But I want you guys to vote right now up in the poll in the corner. What do you think of it so far? Do you like the way it looks? Do you not like the way it looks? And I will talk to you guys very soon in the next clip. Boom. Hey guys, so I'm here to do a little check-in on how the foundation is doing. So it is now 3:15, so 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, 2:30. So I've had it on for almost 4 hours now, and I haven't done any touch-ups. I basically have just been like filming other videos, and I went and ran a couple errands. I went and got my nails done. The next check-in I do will probably be before I take a shower and go to bed, because your girl's got to wake up really early in the morning. As far as how it looks, it still looks pretty good. It definitely has oxidized. I don't know if you guys can see on camera the difference between like my face and my neck. So I definitely still stand by what I said earlier about if you do want to try this foundation, definitely get a shade that is a couple shades lighter than what you would normally get, just because if it does oxidize, it won't go like crazy dark on you. I mean, I feel like this would be like a good shade since spring and summer are coming up, so I mean, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. Another thing I noticed is that it did wear off a little bit on my nose. You can kind of see that blemish there. And as far as that one spot that I talked about earlier where it was kind of like wearing off and rubbing off of my face, it doesn't look like it's really separated anymore. It just kind of wouldn't really cling to that part of my face, and it wouldn't really stay like, you know, even throughout the whole thing. It hasn't gotten any worse. As far as my blemishes, you can kind of see them, like you can kind of see where it rubbed off here on my cheek, just from like my hair rubbing on it or my sweater or whatever the case may be. This side looks pretty good. I'm not really noticing anything like super scary. Like, you know, I have no issue going out in public like this. Like, this isn't a big deal. My natural oils have kind of taken a minute to kind of get to the surface, and I haven't really noticed it separating, but I have noticed that, you know, it is kind of pushing the product more out, making me look a little bit cakey. Okay, so here's an up-close view of my skin. So you can just kind of see what I'm talking about, like in this area and then where it's kind of like rubbed off. You can definitely also still see like a color difference, and you can also see my blemishes that were once covered that are now uncovered. Same with this side, you know, you can definitely see the color difference, and you know, that also could be just from like the bronzer and blush kind of all mushing together. But yeah, I mean, it's not one of the best foundations that I've ever tried, but it's also not the worst. So, I mean, I guess I'm just kind of like 50-50 with it. I don't really know how I feel about it. So, let me know what you guys think. Like, what are your own personal thoughts and opinions on how my skin looks? I do think that this foundation would be like a good like concert foundation. Like, if you are going to be like, you know, going out and you really want to just glam up, I feel like this would be good for that. I am really curious to see how this foundation does with a primer as well, because sometimes primers can really kind of make or break a foundation, and since I did not wear a primer today, you know, it's kind of like, we'll just have to see. So yeah, this is my about 4-hour check-in, and I will check back with you guys in another few hours. Bye! Hey guys, so I'm here to do my final check-in on the Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage Foundation. So it is currently 7:50 at night. It is almost 8 o'clock. It is time for me to take all of this makeup off and get showered and get ready for work in the morning. But I wanted to let you guys know just kind of what my final thoughts were. So I've had this foundation on since about 11:30 this morning. So it's been on for a decent amount of time. I'd say this is like a full day wear, at least for me it is. And I haven't really noticed much difference. It has rubbed off more on like my cheek area, like on my face. Let's see what else. It definitely has started to separate and gather on my chin area. I will zoom you guys in so I can give you more of like a better view. It is starting to like gather in like the more oily parts of my face. Sorry, my lips are all like torn up and chapped and disgusting looking. I just ate dinner, so my lips are just a mess. Okay, they're always a mess. They're always going to be a mess. Just, you know, I'm not a beauty guru. I was right about my expression lines. Whenever I would like raise my eyebrows like this, the foundation has gathered a little bit in those expression lines and just kind of like rubbed off in areas like here you can see. And so I wouldn't say, it definitely doesn't look as good as it did when I first put it on. I thought it looked okay when I first put it on. I mean, I don't think I look bad per se, but I definitely don't look presentable, I guess is the correct word to use. I'll definitely try it with a primer for sure to see if that works any better. My skin is just very weird. My skin, like my texture, the oiliness, the acne, you know, just all of those things kind of come into play. So I feel like nowadays, especially as I get older, it is harder for me to find a foundation that works better for my skin, if that makes sense. So yeah, that is my full first impressions. I can't really say if I like it or not. I can say I'm not absolutely crazy about it, but I will say I will definitely try it a few more times just to see if I can get some more use out of it. Just try different things, kind of like a trial and error process. Usually when I do these kind of like foundation first impressions, I can tell right away if I am going to like a foundation or not. And this one I'm just kind of like, about. I'm not like super crazy about it, but I don't absolutely hate it. I feel like I would know a lot sooner if I absolutely hated it, but I don't hate it. I just feel like it doesn't work well with my skin type personally. So that's just my little thoughts on it. I will definitely keep you guys updated in the future, like in future makeup looks, you know, whatever, what have you. I will keep you guys updated on how I feel about it after I use it a couple more times. But regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you found it helpful. If you did, make sure to go down and give this video a huge thumbs up. It really does help me out. Also, if you are new to my channel, I just want to say hi and I want to welcome you. Make sure you go down and hit that red subscribe button. You don't want to miss out on any future videos from me. Join the family. We're a lot of fun. We like to talk. We interact. It's a good time. As always, and until then, I will see you guys very soon in my next video. I love you guys. Bye!